Welcome to LOA Today. I'm Walt Thiessen here with Linda Armstrong and Rita Gigante. Well, I can't pronounce the name right. Today is Friday, August. August the 7th, 2020. My tongue and lips are left back in the fall of 2019, but it'll eventually catch up. Wherever you are in the world, thanks for joining us for another episode of LOA Today, your daily dose of happy. And we were just comparing notes on Tropical Storm Isaias that came through a few days back. And Linda, you came through virtually without a scratch. You actually did best of all of us. So, I mean, you got to share what your secret is. Goodbye.
Yeah. She sat in the portal.
Goodbye.
She sat in the portal. That's right. Yeah, that's right. She got the portal.
Yes. It was my portal.
Good stuff.
Let me say.
That's great. Yeah, well, we had certainly a lot of adventures here on the show because we were recording in the midst of it. I got knocked offline 5 times, but we got the show done and it came through just fine. Dan Mangina sat in for me on those periods where I couldn't be there, and it all worked out nice. The stream had some great answers to questions. And speaking of which, Rita, we got a whole bunch of questions lined up for you, so I hope you got your cap on. You're ready to go to work here as a psychic because, I mean, we got them lined up for you.
Got my cap on.
Okay, so there you go.
Literally.
So if you are ready, without further ado, I'll go to the first question. And this one is kind of a throwback to last week. So I guess this person is looking for a little more detailed information. She says, what do I need to do to remove clutter from my life to make my life less painful? Which is very similar to the question asked last week.
Wow. People are really having a hard time with clutter.
Yeah.
When we hold on to things that don't serve us anymore, or things that, and sometimes for people, you know, because I'm OCD myself, so sometimes it's an OCD thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way I find the way to do it is to take a small section at a time in your home, whether it be a drawer, a half a closet, like whatever feels manageable at that point. So if it feels too much to even do, half the closet, just do one rack, or just do your shoes. Because, and I like shoes because shoes, when you put on shoes, you're moving forward, or, so you want to just pick one thing that start with the easiest stuff, like things you can get rid of where you have no attachment to it. It'll make it much easier than to get to the other stuff. And every day you want to set aside a specific time frame to do it. So I'll say, you know what, I'm going to take an hour today and clear out whatever. I'm going to take 15 minutes and, it doesn't matter the time. It just matters that you put the effort in and do it. So Linda, did you have anything on that, hon?
No, I think you just really make the choice to do it and then honor yourself by actually doing something, acknowledging that you just made this choice and you know what, and I have the power to stick to it. The only thing that would keep me from sticking to it is all this old crap and old stories that really no longer exist because now you're choosing to move forward. So all those tips that Rita said, you just have to do it because you're choosing it. So are you really choosing it or are you thinking
I read this great book called The 5-Second Rule. Has anybody read it?
I've heard of that.
I know of it. I didn't read it.
I know exactly what it was, but I had to read it anyway. The friggin' thing works. It's like you count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get your ass up and you do it. That's how you that's how you get yourself motivated. So, I'll throw it out there. If anybody, you don't even have to read the book. It's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of counting up, when you count down, you're counting down to a finality kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I count up, I could keep going. But if I'm counting, right.
You're counting down to blast off,
I'm
right?
counting
You're
down to
blasting
1,
off.
0, I'm up. I'm doing something. And you also ask yourself, why are you attached to the things that you are? There's always a reason why. There's always some kind of an emotional, mental attachment to that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I couldn't throw a pair of pants out that I had 16 rips in it, and they were the most comfortable sweatpants, and I just couldn't. And the other day, I just looked at them and I ripped them to the point where I couldn't even put them on anymore. I says, okay, I'm either going to use it as a rag or I'm going to throw it in the garbage. And I just threw it in the garbage.
Okay.
So.
But, sometimes you find it just takes getting started, because if there's ever like a big project you're dreading doing, but then once you start getting into it, it's like you can't stop.
Right.
You don't even stop to eat because now you're in that energy of doing it. So that could be a very
and as you do it,
for
you begin to clear. As you clear, it feels good because you have more energy, and then you have more stamina to do it.
That's a great point. That's a really great point. Last week it was Jenny who asked the question. This week it was Deborah. And I'm recalling one of the things we talked about last week was the emotional side of it, because that emotional side can be pretty strong. So,
So if Deborah didn't see that one, she should go listen again, because we touched on a bunch of stuff to do with that
show. That's
last week.
Yeah. All right. So the next one comes from Tammy. And Tammy asks a very simple question. Will I ever find a true companion?
No. Well, you will find, this is very simple. Okay, hold on. They're bringing me something. Hang on a second.
Okay.
So Cammie's in the middle of a bit of a shift from where she was. They're fine-tuning her energy. And she's had some upheaval over the last couple of years, and now things are starting to settle down. I know everything feels crazy right now because of the pandemic and storms and all of this, but she's in. Okay, so they're showing me a vision of when a baby is in the amniotic fluid, right? And they have this safety net around them. This is where spirit has her. And so they're fine-tuning her energy, and then they can bring somebody in to match her frequency. The one person that's working with her from the other side is, I think it feels like a grandmother energy to me. So, to speak to the grandmother that passed and ask her to help bring that person to her. It's either a grandmother or it's got that energy to it though. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what I got for that.
Very good. Okay. Well, Tammy, hopefully that is helpful to you. Now, the next one comes from Carol, and it's along the same lines. But she says, is the man I am communicating with the man I will spend the rest of my life with?
So Spirit says this has great potential. She tends to look forward, like too forward into the future. She tends to worry about that stuff. Not to just to enjoy where she is, because this has great potential. There is one other energy though that surrounds her that they're talking about that is another potential. But she's not, my feel is she's not that type of person to just switch, or try something because she's in the middle of something. So, she needs to really walk through this, knowing that it's got great potential and that not to worry about the little details. It's being worked out as it moves forward.
What you had to say about not being in the now, that's an important point, isn't it?
Yeah, because everybody. It's funny because I get a lot of this with. When am I going to meet? Because people feel like they can't meet anybody right now because of the pandemic, but it's just not true, because I've had so many people come to me with this, and then after I tell them blah blah blah, all of a sudden it opens up their energy, and through a friend or through this or through that, they meet somebody, or they get connected. I don't care if, we had, even with all of this craziness, you're going to be able to connect to somebody, whether it's in person, not in person yet, doesn't matter. Sometimes that's a great relationship to start with. You start as friends, you start talking, you start, and then you get to know each other, and then you move to the next step. But I feel like with her in particular, she's a worrywart. Like, this does need to stay in the now.
Yeah, now, that's one of those more unproductive emotions too. Worry. I mean, there isn't really much that worry does for you that's helpful. I mean, it's usually just tear you down more than anything else.
Right. Can you get feedback from people that I'm speaking to, or are these just people leaving questions? And
these are people who left questions through, in this case, through Facebook. So okay. I can ask them if they, if they're interested to provide more information, if that's what you're looking for.
No, it's not even more information. I just want to make sure that they got it, and
Oh, okay.
Good. That's all.
Well, I'm sure once I'll share with them that this is the show where their questions being asked and answered, so that they know to listen in. And if once they're listening in, if you're finding that it's answering part of the question, perhaps not answering the whole question, well, send in another question. That's the whole point.
Right.
We want to be able to encourage that. We've had numbers of people who have submitted multiple questions, and it's a great thing. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I have a client of mine who's asking me, what can I ask Rita? It's right here on the phone.
Oh, my goodness.
Ask her anything, Kenzie. Ask her anything.
That's funny.
Oh, she doesn't know where to ask.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
well,
guys, you keep talking.
Speaking of people we know, the next one comes from somebody we know. It comes from one of my co-hosts, Alex King, wrote in. And she says, I'd like to ask Rita what she sees for Kenny's in my future. Kenny's her fiance in the next couple of years. She also wants to know about her own health and success.
Okay. She's on a very, very, wow. It's when they show me a literal path. Like, I'm looking at a path that she's walking down with this man. And I don't know if they're in the same genre, but her spiritual abilities begin to increase dramatically. If she's not already there, she will be, wow. She works with a lot of, okay, hold on. So she works with a lot of goddess energy. And so she's being primed by the major goddesses in spirit. So goddesses are like Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Athena, Aphrodite. These are Joan of Arc. These are all energies that are connected to her. She's a warrior of some sort, and her gifts begin to expand dramatically, as I want to say within the next 6 months.
Wow.
So I don't know what she does for a living, but whatever she's doing, the gifts are going to kind of catapult her in whatever she's choosing to do with the life. Okay. Also, so the man that is with her, what is his name?
Kenny.
The man that is with her, and which one of them is connected to music deeply?
I know that music is important to Alex. I don't know Kenny well enough to answer the question.
Okay. Because there's energies from spirit that are coming through saying that she will be working with certain music that is of a higher vibration to fine tune the energies that are being brought to her. So, she needs to connect to people in the music industry that are of a vibration. Would they make music of that vibration for her? And it's beautiful because these two grow side by side, her and Kenny.
That's always good.
You know, like she'll take a growth spurt and then he'll go, wait up, I'm coming, you know, and then him a little bit, he lags a little bit, but you know, that's okay. But this is what's helping her tremendously. The sound, they're talking of it as if it's sound therapy, but it really is music. So to go online and look for, you know, people in the industry that are connected to that.
Okay. That's good. By the way, from the live stream, Mackenzie was asking, how do we get a question? And she asked a question. So I can assure you, Mackenzie, I've added yours to the list. We will get to it during the show. So you can rest easy about that.
Did I finish answering that question?
Alex gave an ooh at one point. I think that was at the point where you were talking about the goddess energy, but that's the most she said so far. But Alex, if you got more to say, you know, feel free. You know, I don't have to worry about whether Alex is going to say something. If she has something to say, promise me.
Yeah.
I promise you, Rita, she will say it.
She's got very strong energy.
Oh, no doubt about that. Yeah. She and Daniel really give huge amounts of energy to the Tuesday and Thursday shows that they're a part of. So, yeah.
Okay.
No doubt about it. And not surprisingly, the next question comes from Kenny. Kenny asks, are my legal issues going to affect our lives in any negative or positive way?
Legal issues.
Legal issues.
I have a grandfather energy here that just jumped in. And he's saying to me, oh, okay. He's the one helping him around this legal business. And no, like he's not sure why he's questioning that it would be negative. It's nothing feels negative around it. You might, I would like to ask if there's a feminine attorney attached to this, a feminine lawyer. So if he can hear me and answer that, that would be good, because I'm feeling a feminine energy, around that.
Okay. Alex came back and said, are Kenny and I going to be happy? And the answer to the question about the feminine lawyer from Alex is no.
Okay, I feel like there needs to be a feminine energy there.
Okay.
Okay. Alex says, are they going to be happy? She's asking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is good. It's, you know, she's, like I said, she's, okay, hold on. The only thing that Spirit says is sometimes he needs his voice heard. She's got strong energy.
No doubt about that.
So sometimes he needs his voice heard. Okay. And so that's the only thing they're recommending as far as that. But the grandfather's taking care of the stuff with the lawyers and stuff, but there needs to be a feminine energy connected to that.
Okay.
Is this, does this have to do with the previous, marriage, or is this something, I'm seeing kids, and that's why I'm asking. Who has kids?
Interesting. I'll wait and get the answer. We got the delay because it takes a little bit for YouTube to process everything.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah. Regarding what you were telling her, she said, gotcha. But still haven't heard the answer to your particular question. Oh, here we go. He has a daughter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't feel an issue around. I tell him he needs to remove his fear around it and let the lawyers do their job. Don't try and figure out how it's ending, because that's not something that Spirit is. It's like they have to work things out. But tell him it would be good to get a feminine energy connected to that, whatever's happening.
That's always a general good idea whenever we're dealing with anything in life, letting go. It's so tempting to want to hang on to stuff, to hang on to control. Like, I got to control this. I got to control that.
You can't. And that's the bottom line. It's like you can put forth the effort to make sure, you call them to make sure things are moving. Or that's your job, but not the other piece of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. We're moving right along. We're cruising here. Next question comes from Chuck. Were you saying something, Linda? No? Okay. I heard something coming through. I thought it might be you, but that's right.
No.
Chuck says, now we're going to go in a completely different direction here. He says, outside of a sci-fi concept, I am completely new to the ideas of portals existing. Could you and Linda do an extended dive into portals? I'm very interested to learn more.
Okay. Linda, I'm going to let you begin.
Well, I was going to say maybe that requires a different show, but meditating. I'll just tell you this. I had this experience meditating in my backyard. Ooh, I heard an echo. With eyes open, because I just wanted to do that, be in that meditative state with my eyes open. And from that state, everything started, like all of reality started shifting. Like everything was like it was on water and getting pixelated, and like the colors were shifting. And it was like really, really cool. And I was just keeping soft focus and looking into this area of my yard. And then in that area of my yard, this green light started glowing, like it was coming at me. And it even formed in like a shape of a heart, this green light. And at the time, and that happened a couple of years ago, I asked another one of my psychic medium friends, who said, "Oh, it sounds like you have a portal there." And then I kind of left it alone. But then, because I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. So, but then recently, I started questioning that, because there was things going on, and I wanted to make sure that portal wasn't bringing through anything negative. So I had Rita come over to my house, and before I even got to ask her about the portal, she tells me, "You have a portal here." So she tapped into it immediately, and then she found it to be just this great energy and these beings that want to actually really help me and my family and all that kind of stuff. So it's good things. And then, I could dive in and do a lot of research on it, but Rita's advice was just find your own way with it, which I totally believe in. So I kind of just connect with that energy, and I know, like I could feel the connection, and I just speak to those energies.
Right.
And I believe that it's helping me in my life. Right.
But
that's not all I can tell you.
And
really.
That's perfect, Linda. It really is. If you want to know like a physical, let's just say a physical meaning to it, even a person could be a portal. Like when your friend does that show with you, Walt, and he brings in spirit, right?
Yep.
That's a portal. Okay. So it's a person, it's a place, it could be an object. It acts as a channel for spirit. That's what it does. It acts as a channel for spiritual beings. They can travel to and from the earth through that portal. Earth beings can do it as well. It generates energy.
You know what, Rita, we could also add, because on the last show, if you guys want to go back and listen again, I asked Rita a question about an experience my husband and my son had. And I asked, was the portal a part of that? And yes, it was. They had, this like moving into a whole different universe type of experience while sleeping.
Yeah, it's basically a gateway, it's this energy, or you could even look at it as a bridge from one end to the other, from here to spirit, right? And, they're different than vortexes. Vortexes can actually become a portal. So vortexes are this, they're more like a cone shaped, like you would, I would say like almost like a tornado shape, conical, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a cone shape. So And usually you'll find a portal, like sometimes I've done stuff in my house and all of a sudden I can feel a portal open in my living room because I'm doing this, this meditation, and all of a sudden I can feel it just open up, and here come like these spiritual beings like that are hovering now, and and then all of a sudden it closes up when we're done. Linda happens to have one that is going to stay because she's doing work with it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, when you have a portal, it doesn't mean it has to stay. It can just be there for what it needs to be, and then we're done.
Is what you do when you receive information psychically, does that classify as a portal?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely can, because I'm directly connected. I'm grounded physically to the earth. I make sure of that because otherwise I'll be out of my body. And then my crown chakra opens and I'm being fed that information. So I am a channel at that point.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. That was some good description, you guys. That really helped clarify, I think. I got to jump back because Alex is asking a follow-up question to what you were saying to her earlier. She's saying, what were you going to say about Kenny's daughter?
Oh, I wanted to know if what he was dealing with as far as the lawyers had to do with the daughter.
Ah, okay.
I was asking if it was related to that.
Okay. So, Alex, if you got a follow up on that, let me know and we'll bring it in again. So, okay. So the next question comes from Melissa. Melissa says, my husband and I were transferred from Michigan to Maine 2 months ago. I am now looking for a new job. I'm a nurse practitioner looking for a part-time position close to home. Will I be able to attract my perfect job into my life soon, or will the best job take a long time to show up? Thanks a lot.
Okay. She may not want to hear this, but she should have her own practice.
Ooh.
And all she needs to do is be connected, I think, to a doctor as a nurse practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
So tell her the move was really, really good from Michigan to Maine. It's actually, people are in need of her there. Her energy, her skills, her skill set is excellent. Her intuition is excellent. She really needs to have her own practice. So so she needs to think about that, because she's either going to put her energy into finding a job, which it won't take long. I can tell you it won't, but she needs to think about having her own practice. And I see a lot of children connected to her. I don't know why. That doesn't mean she won't be working with other populations. I don't know what that is, but and her office can be run with multiple practitioners in it. And to think about including a hybrid of metaphysical practices with it, if she's going to do it. Yeah, this Maine is going to be fabulous for this. Yeah,
well, that's good news for Melissa.
She says she tell her that her new name is she's a medicine woman now. So who is that lady on TV?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Alex, you're the one who could tell us that she's like the TV goddess.
Yeah,
Quinn something medicine woman. I don't know. Anyway,
medicine woman.
Dr. Quinn, wasn't it?
Dr. Quinn medicine. That's who she is. Like she has to consider herself like, she's going to be working. And this is really important. Tell her. I guess she can hear me. I don't know. I keep telling you to talk.
Well, she'll be listening. She'll listen to the recording.
So this is really important. To be able to do home visits.
Ah.
Do you understand what I mean by that? Like they did 100 years ago when they went to your house to treat you?
Yeah.
To start doing that. Yeah. Also, I don't know what this Native American energy is, but I felt it come in for her. So That's something that I feel she's connected to, a Native American energy. Yeah, she'll do very well. I hope she does it. I hope she goes into business for herself.
It sounds very promising for her from what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good stuff. Alex came back with an answer about your question about Kenny's daughter. Yeah. Alex is fabulous. She came back. She said the answer is no to your question about Kenny's daughter. Okay. And she also followed up. She says, should we stay on the Cape? She lives currently in Hyannis on Cape Cod, or should we move?
Not to move right now. No, to stay where she is right now.
Okay.
Not time yet, I'm hearing.
All right. Yes, I do. And actually, she's coming up next.
Do you see Mackenzie's question?
Who's Mackenzie?
Okay.
She's one of our live stream listeners.
Cool.
Oh, this is your client. Okay.
She's one of my clients.
She's actually got a couple questions here. Her first question was also one that Jeffrey asked. So I don't know if you can answer for both of them at the same time or if you have to answer them separately or what, but they're both asking, how does spirit see me?
I love that question. And this is the God's honest truth. Spirit sees all of us as pure love. It's so, I get this message all the time because I always say to them, you must think I'm fucking crazy because I talk to myself like I'm, like I got shit going on all day long, shit that runs through my mind, and they just laugh at me and they go, no, you're perfect. You are who you are. You're just, you're like everybody else working out the nonsense. I love when they call it that. They call it the nonsense. You're working out the nonsense that all humans work out, but you are pure divine love. You will remember this. And, whether you're in your body or when you come back here, it's like that. And I don't know if that's what they mean by that. So if it's not what they mean, then they need to be a little bit more specific because that's how we're all seen by spirit.
Yep, I'll second that because whenever I'm doing my work and that energy is channeling through me, it's all about.
And I love when
they
remind me of that because I begin to giggle to myself. I'm like, what an ass! Like I even question that, That's just like, come on, So they have no judgment, which is the most beautiful thing. That it's us who judge. So we think spirit judges because we judge, and there's just no truth to that. So I hope that answered it. If not, I will be happy to address, if there's another meaning to what they're asking.
Okay, good. Well, Mackenzie also has a follow-up question, and she actually did it in two separate questions, but I'll combine them together because they really go together. She says, are my boyfriend Jacob and I meant to be together, and can we work through our blocks and work things out? And then she later asks, will we heal and come together?
Yeah, this is a past life connection these two have. And, they're trying to work out the kinks in this life. It's really going to depend on if they both do the work. Because one can't just do it. It's not going to happen. It won't stand the test of time, let's say. Okay. So they both have to do the work. If one is only willing, then, it's not going to. And she needs to ask herself, hold on, let me just listen to what they're saying. So, so she needs to ask herself, Spirit said, is this balanced for me? Am I in balance in this relationship? Because when I look at her, the seesaw that you go up, you go down, you go up, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a seesaw. So, and when you're in the middle, when you can stand in the middle and it just hovers, that's your balance, right? I don't feel the balance. So she has to ask herself, does she feel the balance? And if not, where is she out of balance? Not where is he out of balance, because he has to figure that piece out. She can only work on her piece.
Yeah, that's an important point, isn't it? Because no matter what our situation is with a significant other, until we work on ourselves, we really can't expect a relationship to work out to somehow cover the differences or whatever. We got to be a whole person first.
Exactly. And sometimes you can, and sometimes.
And she's probably typing in right now. But how
do I want to put it? It's like the contract is just complete.
Everybody's
the voice is still there. The image froze up. Did we lose her? This actually sometimes happens, Linda, when somebody gets a phone call or something when they're on a phone. But nope, looks like you're back. Are you back, Rita? We lost you for a second there.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh.
You guys have me? Because you guys totally
you're all good right now as far as I can tell.
Okay.
Okay, good. Because I was going to try to start saying, Mackenzie's probably typing into the thing there, but I know that she and the boyfriend are working on themselves.
She followed up. She says, we thought that too. And then she says, we thought twin flames.
Yeah, it's interesting because people think, oh, twin flames or, that's not easy.
No.
That's not easy. Like, it's not easy work when that happens. So, is she asking if she is a twin, if they are twin flames?
She just said we thought twin flames, and then she followed up.
I think she would want to know that if you can tap into that.
I can tell you this, they've been together numerous times. And, this is like they keep coming back to, they like working together. So they keep coming back to do it, to clear their karma together and to create new energy with each other. So, hold on. Oh, that's interesting. So I close my eyes and spirit shows me a pyramid. And I don't know how that's connected to them, but it is. So there's this pyramid connected to them. And, okay. So spirit says they have the foundation. They have a solid foundation because they've been in many lifetimes together. They're walking up to the top there together. Okay. It's a matter of, no, they're close. So this is not doable.
Meaning that it can't be done.
It can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. She followed up with a couple of things that I'll pass along. She says, we thought that we were twin flames. It's not been easy. And she was wondering why they're so connected. And she also asked, is the contract with him complete? Why do we feel the love still, though, and perseverance?
That's the past life stuff. That's why they feel it's so connected. It's the past life stuff. And it's exactly what I said before. Sometimes the contract is just over, and the love is there, but there may be no more work to do. Mm. Within a year, though, they're going to know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oz is coming back with questions, but I got another listener who chimed in under the name Positive for Life, and I want to make sure this person's question gets answered. I think it's a female, although you can't make assumptions these days, so I'm going to just go with Positive for Life. But Positive for Life asks, may I ask, will Ben and I be in a relationship this August or September, and is there anything else you want me to know?
Is a lot of relationship stuff. Is Ben
Relationship Friday.
Yeah, right? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay. So do me a favor. Just read it to me again.
Sure. She says, will Ben and I be in a relationship this August or September? And is there anything else you want me to know?
I find it strange that I don't, okay. Let me just listen because I'm finding it a little strange because I guess they're not in a relationship, and she wants to know if they will be in one in August or September, or will they still be in one? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's kind of indeterminate, but it does sound like, is it going to happen?
Is it going to happen? Okay.
Yeah. She came back with yes, with a laughing out loud.
Yes, what?
That's what she came back with. Yes.
Yes. Okay. There's some insecurity around him, around this person. And there's a shy energy, like an insecurity, a shy energy, and Spirit says, proceed with caution. I got the yellow light. When I get the yellow light, I know that means proceed with caution. So, it's move slow, get your feet wet. And because I have this feeling it's going to feel different once it happens, like it's going to feel different. So proceed with caution. I'm getting.
She's asking, is it going to happen?
Yes, the opportunity will be there. But again, I'm getting proceed with caution.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means, but I think there's this insecurity around. Also, she's a bit ahead of him. I don't mean in years. I just mean in growth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's, that. So yes, the opportunity is there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Alex had a follow-up question. Actually, the questions are coming hot and heavy here. So if I miss one from the live stream, folks, forgive me because there's quite a few of them coming through. But Alex is asking about Kenny. Kenny wants to know if he should change religions.
What is his religion?
I don't know. She also wants to know if they're soulmates.
Okay.
And regarding the thing about music, she says, does voice acting count?
Voice acting?
Yeah, she does voiceovers for, commercials.
Oh, no, this is not about that.
Not that. Okay.
No, this is about this connection to the spiritual, higher realm, energies that are used, for healing, that she needs to connect to. Are they soulmates? The interesting part about that is Spirit answers it as they're one of many soulmates. In other words, they are not only soulmate to each other.
Right.
Okay. People misread that word, that language, I guess you want to call it. So, could they have another soulmate in their life? Yes. There are people that come here and you know them. They walk hand in hand for 60 years and that they were the only two soulmates for each other. Right. Mm-hmm. And then there are others that have several connections to people and some of them are soulmates and some of them are just lessons. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is they are not the only two that is connected that way.
Plus, maybe the term soulmate, because a soulmate could be someone who drops in your life for like 2 minutes that makes an impact on you.
Yeah.
Because that was all that was needed to be done.
It could be a family member. It could be that's why I'm saying people. Right.
Right. Doesn't have to be a soulmate doesn't have to mean a love partnership.
Idolize that word, They think
a romance.
And it just has to be. And what was the other question? If he should change religions?
Yeah.
I would tell him to embrace all of them.
Ooh, good advice.
Don't know. He does not have to change, but to embrace all of them because they all 99.9% of the time. I wish they had a religion called love, because
that would be good. I'd almost join that one, and I'm not particularly religious, but I'd almost join that one.
Yeah, it's really not a religion. It's just what we all are. And if you subscribe to that and not go out of your way to hurt anybody, you have it down pat in this life. You know what I mean? So.
Right. I would go further to say there's no requirements. Like, there's no have to be this or have to be that, because when you just follow the love and you go where your heart takes you, if your heart wants you to connect more with a particular way of being through a particular religion,
right,
then that would be your yes, because your heart's leading you there. But if it's coming from your mind or ego or other people's pressure outside of you, and it's not your truth, you're probably going to resent it.
I don't subscribe, even though I was raised Catholic, I don't subscribe to that. I don't know what this is. Goodbye. Okay. So I don't subscribe to it. So, but I feel very comfortable with Jesus's energy and Mary's energy. So I will call on them, because it makes me feel good. I feel the love and the compassion and the, all of that. So, it could be any god or goddess that you want to connect to. I don't, I tell people, try not to get caught up in, the religion per se. Just love and do good, treat your neighbor as you would want to be treated. That's a good, all around thing. But
hard to go wrong with that one.
Yeah.
Right. Like don't feel you have to conform to a certain set of so-called rules.
It's true.
Nobody in any religion sticks to all those rules anyway. I don't care what you say. But if you following your heart, that religion of love, that's my religion. You go where your heart takes you.
Jeffrey has a question. I'm going to get to his question in a moment, but there's also one other question that was sent in, and I want to make sure I get that one in that I don't forget it. So this one's from someone named Linda. She says, my boyfriend broke up with me about 2 months ago after 30 years. He said he needed space, freedom, no obligation. I am heartbroken. I am hopeful he and I can reconcile. Any ideas of how to proceed?
Oh boy. Yeah, it's not nice. All right.
Right. Do you want me to say it? Well, what I got, and then I'm sure Rita will elaborate. I just immediately got say goodbye and move on.
Saying,
I
don't think he's being truthful.
Find you.
Honestly, I think that he's, he's either connected to somebody else or there's something he's not being truthful about. And I agree with you. I think I'm very sorry that, I understand it's like somebody died, you have that loss. But I got to tell you, the Spirit's going to bring in something very beautiful for her.
Yeah. Yeah, because I got he's not honoring you. It's, and you deserve more. That there's something just not right about that. And that's a good thing, because you don't want to go on the next 30 years with someone like that even for him to do what he did, or maybe in the way that he did it's really, I think, spiritually to help you to find what you really truly deserve.
And that you don't
find
settle.
That kind of happiness, like that deep happiness.
That you don't settle.
I actually have something for Linda too. The message I want to give her is this is a great opportunity for you. Mm-hmm. This is an opportunity to do some growth in areas that you were kind of letting go because, you had the relationship, so you didn't feel like you needed to do it. But now you've been given kind of a 2x4 opportunity, but you've been given the opportunity to work on some of this stuff and work on it and kind of break through on some of the things you've been needing to break through on. I don't know whether or not this leads to the two of you getting back together. It may not. I can't really say. But you're going to come out better at the other end either way. It won't make any difference. Either it's going to work out because it needs to work out, or you're going to find you don't want to go that direction anymore because you've been working on yourself and you found, I don't need that anymore. It's going to be one of those two.
And tell her to write about it. She needs to journal about it. It's going to help clear her energy if she journals.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good.
She'll be okay.
Now, Jeffrey had a very vague question, very broad. He was one of the ones who also asked how spirit sees him, so that gives you an idea of where Jeffrey comes from. He says, if you get a chance, can you tell me about my life path?
Tell him about his life path.
Yeah, it's pretty broad.
I got to be honest, right now I'm not getting anything.
You know what? I'm getting that you're here to bring joy. So whatever that means, however you do that, that's it. So whatever struggles you had just lead you more to knowing what is not joy so that you can be.
You got that? Okay.
The joy. I don't know.
That's they're not, they're not saying anything to me. I don't know what that, maybe you were supposed to take that one, Linda. But I didn't, I'll sit with it, but I didn't, if there's anybody else that I don't want anybody, because I know we don't have a lot of time left.
I would say,
do I know
Jeffrey already knows.
Jeffrey's one of our most loyal listeners. So yeah, you probably heard stuff from him previously.
Okay. All right. Jeffrey.
I think Jeffrey already knows, and he should just stop questioning and just do it.
Life path, yeah.
Just go for it.
I would even add that the bits that I do know about what he does with his life path, every time he talks about it, in chats on Facebook or whatever, comments, it's always in glowing terms. That tells me he's loving it. So why would you want to question that? Go for it. Yeah.
And that tells you he's coming from joy, because that's what's shining through when he's in that mode.
Yeah.
I don't know what he shares or anything. I'm just, that's just
this is the time to get off the pot, I think.
Well, thank you, Linda, for that, and Walt.
And then Mackenzie's got some follow-ups. She says, with Jacob, so can we be lifetime partners if we do put in the work to heal and enjoy the journey together? We have similar plans for our future and for what we want this life to look like. And she follows up by saying, what did you mean when you said we are close to working out? If you get anything else with the pyramid, let me know about that too.
So I think the pyramid, they showed it to me as a symbol, like a metaphor type of thing. It's like they're climbing to the top together to get to what I would call nirvana, they're close in figuring that out.
Wow.
So it, of course it's up to them to do the work. Now, can they do the work and can they move forward? Yes, absolutely. This is just a side note. I've seen people do the work and at the end say, all right, I think I'm done here. I got everything we could out of this. And they don't stay together. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they had a contract. Let me be a little bit clearer. They had a contract. They worked out all their shit. Right? And then they looked at each other and said, oh, all right. Well, I don't need to put anything else in the contract. And they walk away good friends. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or they move forward to the next phase. I've seen that happen.
Okay.
So just as a side note, I don't know if that helps in any way, but if they're bringing it in, I must need to say it.
And Positive for Life, she came back with a follow-up question. She says, regarding my last question, will everything work out in my favor for me to take the youth graduate classes starting Monday? And she's hoping to receive funding to do this.
Oh, I don't see an issue with that. I don't see an issue with that. That's actually a good thing she's doing. She needs to take those classes.
Also, in regard to the information you gave earlier, she confirmed, yes, I don't know why he feels so shy and insecure, and she also said, yes, I am wise.
Yeah, good. Okay.
You know, something that's just coming to me right now regarding any of the questions is that there are no absolutes, because we are spirit and we come here, like say Rita was talking about how this one contract and maybe worked out all these things, but there's infinite possibilities available because that's who we are. We're creators.
I know people want,
so, you know, to have to have the answer, you don't really have to have the answer. You just have to flow with the energy and with each day and see what things open up for you.
No, I know that people feel like,
what were you gonna say, Rita?
Oh, I have to know. You know, I really have to know. But, you know, understand that even with psychic readings, we all have free will. So I could tell you something and you could say, well, with her, I'm going in this direction. And everything changes in that moment because you have the free will to do that. That's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's it. That's the infinite possibilities. You can always make a choice, and every 10 seconds something new can be, right? So like, I know I'm very happily married, but if that were to end, I know that there would be something else for me because it's a world of possibilities out there. I choose to stay here, but if that were ever to change, I don't think I would be crushed, because I would just, maybe from what I understand with energy now, I would just kind of feel
that's
like, okay,
very hard
so
for people who aren't in that place. You know, because they sometimes they cling to that person and they don't feel like there's anything else. And that in of itself isn't healthy. So that, you know, that could be the lesson through the whole thing. But I think that to know that there's endless possibilities, probabilities, you make all those decisions. So I'm not trying to put myself out of business. What I'm saying is, what I see, what Spirit brings in, what I like about the way Spirit works with me is that I do a lot of spiritual counseling as well. It's yes, there's psychic energy coming in, there's psychic information coming in, but there's a lot of spiritual counseling that comes in with it. And that's the piece that I enjoy, because I can open up somebody's mind to other possibilities that they may have not realized or known. And I think that that's helpful, you know, in a lot of different ways. So don't get stuck on any one thing, because the minute we do that, we close off all the other possibilities.
Right. And I know Rita does the same thing. I know I do. And I know most good healers do that. It's like, we can tell you and we can channel stuff, but it always has to be what resonates with you, what feels really true, what is your truth. Maybe we're tapping into a piece of it and not the whole picture. Only you could really know. So you don't want to ever give all of your power away to me or to Rita or to anyone else who you go to. Anyone ever. And if anyone ever wants to make you feel like they know better than you, and that you must, I mean, I've known people who came to me, they're like, I spent a fortune with this woman because she told me if I didn't do this or if I didn't do it, and it totally ruined their life because they gave all their power to that person who, I think honestly really didn't have their best
when you hear that
in mind. It was
when you hear
a shady
that,
side of
the
what
other
we do.
direction.
No kidding. Yeah. I'll get one more. Well, first, I got to do a little follow-up here from Positive for Life. She says, right, I feel it is my purpose to take this career path. Glad I will be enrolled in the classes. I'm clueless how I'm going to get the funding. I get it. I can't know everything. And so thanks a lot for that.
Okay.
Keep asking the universe, how do I get the funding for this class? Just ask the question. Put it out there and don't get stuck in your head
That's
about
why
it.
they're
Just
there.
let your guides and angels
And then
assist.
Gingerbread snuck in at the end and just asked the simple question, what does Pat think of me?
What does what?
Pat, P-A-T.
What does Pat mean?
What does Pat think of me? Pat is a person. Yes.
Oh,
What does Pat
I'm like,
think of her?
is this
Somebody named Pat.
Okay. What does Pat think of her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, Linda.
Well, her or him, I'm not sure. Gingerbread is the screen name, so your guess is as good as mine.
The word that comes through is intrigued. Intrigued. That's the word that comes through.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's a fun energy.
and Spirit says, stop. I love when they say shit like this. Stop worrying about what people think anyway. It's none of your business what they think. I love that. I love that because then you don't like when you want to know what someone thinks of you. It's like, oh, I hope they think I'm this or I hope they think I'm that.
Right.
And whenever I've been in that situation, Spirit says to me, I get one of these on my head, like, ding, right? Like, yeah, none of your business what people say about you or think about you. Just keep going, kind of thing, you know?
Right. And wouldn't that be because Spirit doesn't live in judgment,
True.
and that's totally all about
But this word
judgment.
intriguing keeps coming up, so that's what I'm left with.
And Gingerbread likes that a lot. In fact, they even got a laughing with tears coming out of the eyes. That followed. Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Before we go,
how fast this went. I just have to tell you, this was like to me the fastest hour ever.
oh yeah, it flew. No doubt about it. And before we go, I want to remind people, now that you have the LOA Today app, that's the best way if you want to reach out to Rita or to Linda because you want to maybe hire them for a session or something like that. It's so simple. We have a whole hosts page there, and for each of the co-hosts listed there, Linda has a link to the contact page on her website. Rita has a link to her Facebook page. You can reach out to them and start a conversation. And if you decide that you want to do a full session, hire them for a full session. But reach out because we all love to have. Whenever the listeners are reaching out, we love that. It's so fabulous when it happens.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all.
Oh, yeah, it's been great. And by the way, for those of you who haven't downloaded the app, what are you waiting for?
Really?
Hey, come on, get with the program here. Among other things, it has a little page in there where you can click and send in a contact form that says, hey, I got a question. Here's my question.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we love the questions. And
it makes these shows so much more fun. All right. Well, thank you both. You both did a great job. Rita, I thought maybe we were going to ask your head off, but you did a good job. You got through it.
So good. This revs me up. I love it. I'm like on a high now.
And Linda, I mean, you guys tag team and just decide, okay, I'm going to take this one and Rita's going to take that one. How do you do that?
I agree. Linda, I love working that way with you. I have to tell you. You just know.
Well, I don't ever consider myself psychic, but I do pick up on information.
When you're connected to like-minded people, even Walt threw some things in there.
I did, yeah.
I love it.
And I didn't even know where that came from, so I guess that counts.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Of course it does.
Because that's energy. That's what we need everybody to get. That's energy, and that's how it expands. Like we're in different parts of the country, although we're kind of close together. It doesn't matter. We could be in different countries. That energy is there, and it's formed for us, and we just feed off of it. Like I know what Rita's feeling because I feel it too. You get into this really high.
It is.
That's why we love doing the work.
That's a good description of it too. So, all right. Thank you guys very much. Looking forward to having more questions for next week. And to those who've been writing in saying, Linda, when is Linda going to pull more cards? She's going to pull more cards. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
All right.
You know what? Kenzie texted me. That was amazing.
In the live stream
so
too.
That's
so
cool.
Glad to have helped you guys out. Thank you especially to our podcast listeners because without you, we wouldn't have a podcast and you make it so much more fun. So thank you very much. Yeah. We'll see you all next time here on LOA Today. Goodbye, everybody.